President Biden came into office, he recognized that the United States and the world are at an inflection point. A point when the world is changing so much and so quickly that the decisions and the actions we take now will impact the generations to come. When he said this, he wasn't just talking about traditional world affairs, conflicts, or relations between states, though we certainly have our share of those too. The president was also speaking about what another leader in our government calls problems without passports, or transnational challenges. Concerns like climate change, both positive and negative developments in cyber and technology, and global health. Concerns that can impact any nation at any time. Concerns that a single country cannot address alone. Challenges like these require global cooperation to move toward a shared vision for a safe, prosperous, and healthy future for all. High-level discussions about these concerns, like the ones the ambassador has regularly here with her Armenian counterparts, or like last week's strategic dialogue, are a great way to move forward. But national-level discussions are not enough. We must also engage at regional and local levels because the impacts are local. And no one has a greater interest in addressing these concerns than the communities themselves. For example, when the world leaders talk about climate policy, it is the world's mayors and governors who are mobilizing first responders to confront wildfires and droughts. When global summits convene to discuss cyber threats, it is state and local leaders who are protecting energy grids from hackers to keep lights on in their cities. And when the UN and World Health Organization work together to respond to a global pandemic, it is governors and mayors who are working to keep kids in school, the elderly safe, and vaccines available to the public. Just ask the president, he was a mayor. Ask our former president, President Obama, who began his political career as a grassroots community organizer working in the south side of Chicago. President Obama saw the power of communities to lead what needs to be led, to fix what needs to be fixed, to challenge what needs to be challenged. That's what local communities, cities, and states do. Ask our two ambassadors in Tokyo and New Delhi, who are also former mayors. You could also ask the governor of California, our most populous state. He was a mayor too. Now he leads the state that is also home to the United States' largest number of Armenian Americans. Indeed, I have read that the largest concentration per capita of persons of Armenian heritage outside Armenia is in Glendale, California. As the mayor is here, sitting here in this room, her city, Glendale, is nearly 40% Armenian American. In America, a country where immigration has played a uniquely important role in our country's development, we find that our cross-cultural ties to other countries and people are immensely important as we look for ways that individuals and communities can impact foreign affairs and bolster democracy worldwide. We have these ties between our two nations. The communities I mentioned earlier aren't the only ones with Armenian Americans in the United States. Though the numbers can vary a bit, we have perhaps as many as 1.5 million Americans of Armenian descent in our country, the second largest Armenian diaspora in the world. And this isn't just recent history. Armenians began immigrating to the United States in significant numbers in the late 1800s and on through the following century. In America, Armenian immigrants went to work creating lives and businesses and families while still honoring their cultures and traditions. Families gathered over dolma, lavash, and so many other foods, spreading cheer to those around them and bringing their traditions and skills to the United States, which made our country stronger. We've seen Armenian Americans rise to the highest levels of our military, innovators that created the MRI and microelectronics, competitors like Andre Agassi and Laban Iranian, who dominated their peers in tennis and chess, and of course one very, very famous reality TV family. And though maybe we can't keep up with the Kardashians, I'm proud to say that my family also has Armenian American roots as well. My spouse is Armenian American, and I am Indian American. As a practical matter, that meant our kids had the benefit of being able to grow up celebrating a lot of holidays and eating favorite foods from multiple continents. More importantly, our family is so fortunate to be able to tell the stories of 3 countries, 3 cultures, and 3 peoples. But it's not just family ties that build a relationship. There is so much more than that. Ties are built by students who go on academic exchanges. They are built by the cultural visionaries and academics that participate in the Fulbright program or other academic and cultural exchanges. They are built by tourists and business travelers. To this end, the department prioritized getting our visa wait times down the past few years and reduced them by 84%. And Armenia responded. Last year, we issued 67% more non-immigrant visas to Armenia than ever before. Ambassador, thank you to you and your team. I'm also talking about business leaders that create trade ties that are growing commerce between our countries. Our job in the U.S. and Armenian governments is to create programs and ideas that allow trade to flourish, but it is individual and Armenians and Americans and local communities that make them real. And Armenians and Americans are doing just that. Our trade relationship more than tripled from 2020 to 2023, growing from 96 million in bilateral trade to 330 million. I'm very pleased that our Special Representative for Commercial and Business Affairs, Sarah Morgenthau, is part of this delegation. She will be exploring ways that we can work together to create partnerships between U.S. companies and the Armenian private sector. And we know that we can grow our economic relationship even more. We can do so by continuing to grow as democracies together. The United States is thrilled to support a peaceful, democratic, and prosperous future for the Armenian people, and we are investing in that. Indeed, our assistance programs have almost doubled over the past few years to support Armenians who are working to strengthen their country's governance, institutions, rule of law, and who are building a strong civil society, and we are proud to be partners in this effort too. So this is a relationship that is growing stronger in every dimension, between students, between businesses, between governments, and between our peoples. And today, it will grow stronger still as we inaugurate 3 new city partnerships. So there is only one way to move in this relationship, and that is forward. So let's get on with the task at hand. Thank you all very much for the work that you're going to do over the next 2 days. Thank you.